In this video, I will demonstrate how to launch SynthEBD using Synthesis. You will need to make sure that your Synthesis version is at least 0.25.2. Click on the Add Patcher from Git Repository button. At the time of recording, SynthEBD is not yet listed in the patcher menu, but it will be after the 1.0 release. Alternatively, you can add it from the Git repository URL even if the patcher is unlisted. Wait a few seconds for the project's menu to become populated, and then select synthebd.cs project. Then click the blue check mark at the bottom right corner to finish adding the patcher. The Synthesis version of SynthEBD will always be synchronized to the latest changes on GitHub, so it may have code changes that haven't yet made it into the standalone release. If you see a blocking error upon installation, the first troubleshooting step is to make sure your version of Synthesis itself is up to date. If that fails, try to switch the Synthesis and Mutagen versions to match mode. Failing that, join the Synthesis Discord and post in the Spawn support channel to request help. If everything is installed correctly, Synthesis will finish compiling, check the runability, and show a ready message. To install texture config files and change other settings, go to the Settings tab and click Open Settings. This will launch the SynthEBD UI. At this point, refer to the previous videos in this playlist for setting up SynthEBD depending on if you are launching Synthesis via MO2 or Vortex. You will still need to set up the Mod Manager integration menu accordingly. Follow the instructions in those videos for installing texture config files. Some of the main menu settings from standalone mode are missing when launching via Synthesis, because Synthesis handles those environment settings itself. You may still want to specify an output folder here to route files generated by SynthEBD to a specific directory. When you are finished, close SynthEBD and wait for Synthesis to recheck runability. Now you can click the Synthesis Run button to start patching. Remember, you will need to activate the mods generated during config file installation. See the MO2 or Vortex installation videos for a more detailed explanation, depending on which mod manager you're using. Rather than closing and relaunching SynthEBD, you will need to close Synthesis, activate those mods in your mod manager, and then relaunch Synthesis. Those files will then be correctly cataloged, and you will be able to run the SynthEBD patcher.